Car?
Yes, sir.
Film it.
This is
Mountain, a remote area of California where hundreds of people disappear without a trace every year.
16 countless
versus the world, where we take on challenges, comedy, trending topics, and some travel. City boy! City boy! All right, we're back. We're back up in this mug, man. This one is on Tyler Oliveira's channel. He's a beast, independent reporting. And this one's titled, I investigated Murder Mountain. Greenery, outlaws, and missing people. Y'all see the title up there. Y'all can see it. So I'm about to check this out. Now, what's interesting, I have a little bit of an inside scoop on this area. If you guys aren't familiar, y'all seen, I've done some reactions with the homie One Ton from Potluck. And if you're not familiar with Potluck, they're from Humboldt County. Humboldt, baby. And that's their whole thing is the Mary Jane, lighten up the Mary Jane. They rap about the Mary Jane. But I went to Arcata, which is basically like right there, Humboldt, Arcata, California, and recorded a full album with Potluck. It was called Flowbama at the time. And it's interesting seeing this because when I went out there, I was hip. It didn't this intro is really wild. I'm going to go back and play the very beginning because I knew there was a subculture of growing. I knew with that, there were dangers and other things. But all of it really got highlighted during, I think Netflix did some type of movie called Murder Mountain or something. And that's when I think it really put more exposure to it on a worldwide scale. I think nationally, a lot of people knew what was up with Northern Cali. And they were, recognized as one of the places with the best Mary Jane, and people would transport that Mary Jane all over the damn country. And if you could get it, it was like the gourmet of Mary Jane. Now you can get good stuff pretty much anywhere, right? But this was where you went, this is the stuff you wanted, at some point in American culture before, there's a dispensary in every city and every state. So I thought this would be interesting to talk about because I've been here. I've been here personally, went through, I think they're called the what are they? The redwoods. Stopped, took pictures with these huge trees that you think you're just standing next to it and you're like, oh, this is from the dinosaur period because the trees were so big. The trees were so, I don't know if it's the width around, is it bigger than cars? Some were as big as houses and then they just shoot up. Crazy. Anyways, let's get into this, you guys. Check this out on because I'm not going to watch the whole thing. It's 25 minutes long. Just get some bits and pieces of it. Talk to you guys about it. If you want to see the full video, please head over to Tyler Oliveira's channel. Oliveira. I hope I'm saying it right. My bad, homie. Hit him with the like. If you go watch this, get in the comments and let them know that I sent you. But this is going to be fun. This is going to be interesting. And the fact that I've been there, I've actually, I don't know if I think I've been to this where he's interviewing these people. I think I've stood there before. So it's cool. I love this investigative journalism, independent style. But let's go.
There's people that get locked in cages in the woods and starve to death almost.
We have more crime than New York City and LA combined.
You better stick with someone native around there because they will take you out.
He actually somebody in the neck with an ice pick. There, they ended up finding 6 bodies out there.
I saw my friend Emerson. He was hanging in the tree.
It's over, dude. What do you mean it's over?
Car?
Yes, sir.
Film it.
This is
Mountain, a remote area of California where hundreds of people disappear without a trace every year.
before California legalized in 2016. Countless illegal went wild in Humboldt, Trinity, and Mendocino County in this area known as the Emerald Triangle.
Bro, this is just crazy to me. The Emerald Triangle, all this lingo I learned because of potluck. They grew up in the midst of this. You know, they represent that in their music. I ain't going to get into too much depth, but I got my schooling from them. That's crazy. It's crazy to see this like broken down like this, knowing that I've been there, like hearing them put, you know, some of this in the lyrics. Like I've heard all of this lingo because of their music, and those are my bros, man. 1 ton and underrated. Shout out to Joe Brown. Damn.
The largest cannabis producing region in America that supplied an estimated 60% of the country's pot before it was legalized. But after legalization, most farmers were annihilated as legalization brought new taxes, permits, compliance, and large corporate competitors that achieved economies of scale, ultimately increasing the supply, decreasing its value, and destroying the black market economy the people of the Emerald Triangle relied upon. So, almost 10 years since California legalized, what happened to the towns, trimmigrants, and farmers that lived in these mountains? I met up with former trimmigrant and citizen journalist Darren in the small town of Willits to explore the remains of the Emerald Triangle while we worked our way all the way up to Murder Mountain.
When I first worked on that farm, I was staying at a local hotel here in Willits. One of the maids, she barely spoke any English, and she saw trimmigrant signs, and she actually put us into contact with another gentleman named Jose, who drove us up to this one sketch house in the middle of the mountains, and then we got into a second car and they blindfolded us and drove us here. Even though they blindfolded us, I have photographic memory, so as soon as I saw the local hills and stuff, I knew I was on Houck Terrace, not too far away from all the other pot farms I used to work on. A really dangerous industry, to say the least. You know, sometimes the pot farms up here and feuds between them make the feud between Timmy Turner and the Dinkelbergs look like Sunday in church, to say the least.
So we made our way over to the nearby trailer park to get some wisdom from Darren's old friend. Darren, how do you know this guy?
I used to hitchhike back and forth between San Francisco and Seattle, and this guy was pretty much here all the time. That looks like his trailer right there. His mom might be home. Wish him luck, you guys. I'm going in.
You got this, bro. You got this.
Hey, brother. Oh, this is Darren. I'm looking for the other guy who used to live here.
Johnny died.
John died?
Johnny died 3 years ago.
They got him or what?
No, he had that brain tumor. Assholes took him over to their fucking house, and he, because he was smoking, they said that he had a seizure in the bathtub.
Dude, so Johnny died.
Okay, let's get out of their hair then.
But the gentleman said he's willing to maybe do an interview.
I'm here with
Thomas Ortega.
So why do so many people go missing out here?
If say they need 1,000 people to trim, they'd send out 40,000 flyers. Here at Safeway, at the end of the summer, you hardly see anybody that speaks English because the trimmigants come into town and everybody speaks French and Russian and all these different languages.
From Europe?
Oh, they're everywhere from Europe. They come here in hopes of getting trim jobs. They can't get any, so they're stuck in Garberville. And there's hundreds and hundreds of little tiny roads that disappear out into the hills, and they go for miles and miles and miles and miles. Some people are really bad because they're out there cooking, and it gets real dodgy out there.
Sketchy.
So you don't go roaming around.
When did you notice the cartel presence out here?
When you start seeing signs along the roads that are about buying houses for cash, people that buy homes and they'll buy cash, and they set them up for grow houses.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if it's cartel or I don't know if the cartel even makes. I don't know what they do around here. The town there between
Alder Point?
Leggett. You'll start seeing signs on stores of people that are missing and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
But mainly in Garberville.
We're thinking about going to Covelo today. Any advice?
Oh my God, Covelo's bad. Covelo, just be careful.
This is so crazy. This is so crazy. This is so crazy. Because I've heard some of these stories, and now fast forward, because I was out there, shit, that's wild. I was out there right before it did go legal. I was touring with Potluck, I believe in 2013, maybe even 2012. Yeah, that might have been when I started, because I was touring with them and tour managing. And so that's when I started going out there. And I remember 2016, my last tour was in Europe because that's when Trump got in. And then I started slowing down on touring when we had my daughter in 2018. So anyways, this just brings back memories. And it's kind of wild that I was out there before everything went legal. So like if I would have known, and if I was like a YouTuber for real, like if I would have known certain things, I could have went out and like had some crazy, I don't know. I ain't trying to disappear either, but this is kind of blowing my mind. This is kind of wild.
Careful in Covelo, it's all reservations. The state put, at one time, they must put like 6 or 7 different tribes in Covelo. Let them sit there and they fight it all out. So they fight between themselves. They're all gang members and they all fight. And people put them in trunks and set them on fire and shoot people. And it's a bad road. It's a bad area to stop. It's a bad area to go in. And
It's the Wild West out here, huh?
they had a road saying you could go to Fort Bragg. But once you get out so many miles, the roads turn to numbers, and there's no more roads. And if you don't know where you're going out there, you end up in some sketchy, weird places. I want to go steelhead fishing out there in the Eel River, but I won't drive out there.
All right, brother, you got me nervous now, but appreciate the intel. So we begin our trek up to go.
Bro. Yo, man. Damn, this is bringing back all the memories of driving from Arcata back to San Fran to fly out of there. And when you drive at night, like it's just the roads are all windy. Like it's so crazy seeing this on my screen right now. The other thing is, these explanations or what that dude was talking about makes this that area seem like that show, The Ozarks, which this whole concept could have its own movie.
I noticed this mysterious Masonic temple. Masonic?
This is where,
oh, hell no.
This is where the Trimmigrants come.
Come on, let's lock it.
That's a crazy name, Trimmigrants. I never heard that name, but it made total sense. I totally get right when they said it, I was like, that's wild.
I don't have any.
Yeah, they're up there. They're squatting. You see the lights? Actually, is that even real?
Holy shit, there's people up there right now.
That's a little creepy. Honestly, I'm getting a little creeped out here.
So this is where Trimmigrants passing through, people coming down from the mountains, they stay here.
You guys know who's in here?
Oh, what the f***? This guy's fucking famous.
How you doing?
What's up, man?
We saw some homies in there with the lights on, and we're like, yo, and we waved, and then they turned the light off and closed the window right over here. We think they're chill. They may be passive. They may be violent.
I've never seen people there, though, huh?
No.
Darren's going up there right now. Hey, Darren, be careful, eh? Terrible idea. What are your thoughts on the weed industry out here?
I mean, it was big before. It's kind of dead now. Yeah. You don't really hear much about that, but like growing up, it was a big thing. There's a lot of stories you hear up at.
We're trying to learn more about the dark side of the cannabis industry. You have any thoughts?
Dark side of the cannabis industry, go to Covelo.
You should go up to Covelo if you really want to like.
What is it?
It's called Covelo. That's where I hear the most stories of.
Okay.
So you go to Covelo, you better stick with someone native around there because they will take you out. When I lived up there, there were
Are the
wars.
cartel and the tribes at war right now?
They were last time I was up there. And you want cops? I had to a cop because they told me they'd show up the next day for a situation that happened with my kid. So I said, if you don't, he'll be dead and you'll be here in 2 hours anyway. So they showed up.
Defend her kids.
It takes them 2 hours to get there in a situation where they know someone's going to die. When they told me, oh, we'll wait till tomorrow to do something about that, I said, you either come now or you're going to be coming in 2 hours because my hand's going to be taken off the head.
We hear a lot of people are getting killed out there.
It was where there's like every month there was someone dying, if not more than someone.
And why?
It's population control. The Coveloians, they like the money. They really lose on the loss of their family members. I mean, it's like the Indians are getting treated really bad again.
Tell us what we should look out for.
Definitely the cops. If you don't have your back on them, then the town won't trust you. Maybe if you hand it to them.
Give them the gun.
Yeah. Because I doubt if they'll shoot you, they'll enjoy the gun. That's what they told me when I got there.
Give us your gun.
If you go steal us a gun, then you can stay here with your brother in 8th grade.
When you were in 8th grade?
Yeah, they're going to tell me to kill my brother too.
Have you been to Covelo?
No.
Okay. Have you heard of Murder Mountain?
Yeah.
What do you know about it?
Not much to talk about.
What do you mean?
Just not much to talk about.
You don't know much about it, or people kind of zip their mouths when they think about it?
We hear it, why talk about it?
What do you mean?
Exactly what I said.
Covelo. That's what I keep hearing. And it sounds like, Darren, we're going to have to head up there, find a native contact, and see.
That dude was interesting. The way he said that was interesting. Anyways, let's see. I want to see them in Covelo. Hold on. I wonder if they're here. Hold on, let me look. Let me look real quick. Because I don't want to take homie's full video. If people are interested in this, I want them to peep it out. Nope. There's no... all right, we're just going to have to see. We'll peep game. Let's see what's up real quick.
See what's actually going down. But first, we're headed to Alder Point. And rumor has it, lots of illegal farms out there, I think. Is that accurate?
I want to fast forward to Covelo. I'm guessing, we'll see. I'm guessing this might be it over here. Let's see.
You know, and then that freaks you out. Like, is it humans also that are,
The meat was a little sweet, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I've traveled the world. I've met thousands of people from all walks of life, from every corner of the globe, and I can't shake the feeling that woman was a cannibal back there. It's.
All right, cut, yo. We're gonna head up to Redway and then to Alder Point. We are getting closer and closer into the heart of Murder Mountain. As we drove higher into the foggy mountains and closer to Alder Point, I spotted these people camping in the woods off the side of the road and wondered if they knew anything. We're gonna walk up this mountain right now and just say what's up. Keep it chill. Just be friendly. Hey, yo. Loud, make your presence known in case we see a few camps up here. Hey.
Anybody up here?
How's it going?
Morning, brother. I'm a friend. May I approach? I have no guns or anything.
Hey, sir, how are you? We're trying to talk to some farmers out here and some trimmers. Do you work out here?
I used to. I've been working a long time.
Is that after like the legalization?
Yeah, pretty much. I killed the black market.
We hear a lot about a ton of missing people up here in these mountains. Is that still a problem?
I don't know about people coming up missing too much anymore. There's definitely still some people missing back there.
I actually know a lot about the topic that you're talking about here.
I want to know everything I can.
Well, I grew up out here, and back quite a few years ago now, my brother actually, he froze out in these hills. It was really interesting the way it happened because there was a dispute over water with my neighbors because they wanted the water for their plants and for cattle for whatever reasons. A lot part of it was for the land. My brother, he froze out in these hills, and there's even some bruises. His fingernails were pulled back and that kind of stuff, and it's just like suspicious. And so I've always kind of had something going on about that, but it's happened so many years ago, and we couldn't do anything. And then the law enforcement didn't really make a large effort for it. They had dogs retrieve him. That was one of the first times where I was really impacted by this. For a long time, I actually grew up over in Bell Springs, or worked over in Bell Springs, up in the mountain. I actually heard rumors that some of this started happening way back in the 80s. There was actually some people that were murdering people up in the hills, but they're actually cannibals too. And they were way up there, and there was actually some cannibalism going on.
Yes. We're headed up to Alder Point. We're trying to learn more about some of the dark underbelly of these mountains. What should we know?
That you're going to be in and out of cell phone range.
Okay.
And that people here don't really warm up to strangers. Yeah, I'm a bit concerned that you're going up Alder Point. I don't know if you watch the series Murder Mountain. There's a lot of missing persons up here. Get asked to work and they never get paid, and they demand payment, and then they just buried in someone's backyard.
What's the craziest thing you guys have heard about here?
That Ryan Tanner pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't there cannibalism? They eat
I don't know about cannibalism,
Jesus.
but
Tell me about Ryan Tanner.
one friend of ours for sure.
Serial killer out here or what?
Supposedly, yeah.
Jesus, okay.
Supposedly there's a bunch of bodies out on the property.
I had another neighbor about 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years ago. He actually shot somebody in the neck with an ice pick. When he did that, stabbed that guy in the neck, the police went out and they raided his property, and they brought cadaver dogs out there. They ended up finding 6 bodies out there.
They think that they can come here and make like a few $1,000s. There's a lot of promises. They're living in their cars. They're living in tents.
This is deeper than I anticipated from some of the surface level. Like, I knew these concepts were going on. I knew a bunch of stuff, but like cannibalism was left out. I haven't seen Murder Mountain on Netflix. I saw the description. You know how like you see it like, oh, what's this? And you've seen the summary and like, oh, I've been there. I know what's up. Bro, I'm tripping. All right, let's see where we're at over here. And we got to leave something for I'm skipping through a bunch. What is this? San Francisco, unfortunately, though, both running amok. What the hell is going on there? Anyways, I'm running amok, so you guys could go watch this in its entirety on his channel. It's a 25-minute video. I probably watched 10 minutes of it, just so you're aware.
Point. Here's the USPS. Looks to be closed. It looked like a complete ghost town with the only store in sight closed, the postal office vacant, and abandoned cars on the side of the roads. But I was surprised to see this dude across the street. We're traveling across the Emerald Triangle out here, trying to talk to folks about these mountains.
Nice to meet you. I've been here for 30 fucking years.
Tell me how this place has changed before and after legalization.
We lost the store.
No more store? It used to be right there?
That store was open since I was 12 years old here. Been open since 1910, and it's closed. There's no gas. There's no nothing, dude. This place is done. Legalization killed this country.
We're trying to learn about Murder Mountain. What's real? What's fake?
There's nothing real about
Let me
Murder
take 5 out and
Mountain
then give you the whole pack.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a real nice place. It's nothing like it used to be. With the legalization and everything, it just kind of dried up around here.
What was this place like during its boom?
I've only been here 12 years now.
Okay.
But everyone had, pockets full of cash, and people were having fun with it, and small businesses were booming. Everyone was doing really good. It was just very lively. A lot of good people running around, but also too, on top of that, it brought a lot of bad company. A lot of people that were just here for the money, didn't care about the environment. Left a lot of big messes. Mainly, a lot of people had to get 9-to-5 jobs.
Okay.
Just wasn't worth anything anymore. So yeah, places like this are pretty much ghost towns.
Yeah. Unsurprisingly, this place was a complete ghost town. While the few residents I could find shared me the nostalgic stories of its glory days, they all still seemed to enjoy the peace and isolation they still had. But
there is something that's refreshing about that area. It's weird because I always thought California, land of the sun, but when you go to Northern Cali, it's just like there's a lot of overcast and it gets really chilly. Like when I was in Arcata, I was like, yo, where's the sun? Like most of the time I was there, I did not see the sun. And that kind of messed with me. Again, I don't know when their sunny season is. I think when I was out there, it just wasn't that sunny, but I have to be around sunlight a lot. But it is it's always green. You see the greener, there's just something so refreshing about it and soothing about the land. But I'm kind of tripping out of what they're talking about because I saw this happen at the beginning of the legalization phase. So like I was running with a crew of people, and let's just put it this way. In the past, if I remember correctly, a pound could be a P, right? Of the Mary Jane. If I remember correctly, I think it was like 4 bands, 4 racks, 5 racks. Some boo-boo was like 3 racks, right? This legalization popped off in Colorado first, I believe. And I remember I got involved with some buddies. We started a grow. That didn't work out for me. We got spider mites. I lost a bunch of money in the investment. It was stupid. But we tried to pop off a grow in a condo because the condo in the rent had its utilities was a part of it. So we found a place where we didn't have to pay utilities. So, we popped it off, did a hydro joint. And the spider mites and some other things, unfortunate events. Anyways, I've lived an interesting life. But long story short, I remember my buddies who I was involved with, their grow did succeed. But it got to the point where a pound, was like $1,500. I remember when he told me that, I was like, what are you talking about? And that's when I was like, oh, the whole game's about to flip. The whole game's about to flip. Because there was value because it was so hard to get. It was exclusive. It was black market. So it brought up the value of it because the dangers, the this, the that, the others, the demand of it. But now that so many people can produce it, the price plummeted. And so now I understand how it affected this place because they were the originator. This is where you wanted to get your stuff from. It didn't matter where you were in America. That was the folklore. That was the urban legend. Like, yo, if you can get your Kush from the Emerald Triangle, you got the best in America, right? It was the exclusive, the Gucci. And now it's just everywhere, right? So just seeing this, it's kind of sad for their community because I've seen this happen, It's like these gold rushes and then, they get the gold and they bounce.
But not everyone was happy to see outsiders with cameras poke their heads around.
You guys' car?
Yes, sir.
The only reason that there's probably been a lot of, things and stuff out this way is because, like I said earlier, money brought in, just people coming to look to make a big buck,
Sure.
a fast buck or whatever. Those are the people that typically cause the problems.
What was he trying to... Is homeboy just being theatrical over there?
No, he was just being a dick because he didn't like me talking to nobody about this place.
During the height of this industry, how much were some of these farmers bringing in per year? Millions of dollars?
I worked multiple operations. There were multi-million-dollar operations.
What was it like working for some of those guys?
Sucked. They were real dickheads, dude. They were tighter than fuck, dude, and they barely give you a fucking rebuild kit for your motorcycle so you go to work the next fucking day, dude.
Can the people come visit or stay the hell away?
We like our peace and quiet. But no, you guys are more welcome to come.
No, it's like the stash plants.
Who wants to go to a place that doesn't have reception and people are disappearing? Sorry, I'll go see the Redwoods. I'll go visit the homies, but I ain't going that far. Damn, I didn't know this. Man, I gotta tap in with a couple people. This is wild. Anyways, we're going to tap out. It's ironic because if you're a multi-millionaire in this industry, you go to where it's more efficient, right? So you were out there getting it popping, getting the bread, probably not even having to work that hands-on, sending the Goonies out there to get shit cracking. Once it legalized, it's like, oh, let me go set up in a place that's more beneficial. For some reason, it might not be as beneficial out there. I don't know. That's what's interesting about something you can grow, right? Because there's no Monsanto yet. There's no Monsanto with Mary Jane, like you've heard of the Terminator seeds that they give farmers now where it's like it grows one crop and then you can't grow anything else. You have to keep buying seeds from them so they can, track how much you're growing, how much you're selling and stuff like that. So anything that can just grow like sunlight, water, and air, it's an interesting come up. Obvious, your soil needs nutrients. There's a bunch of different things that go into it, but it's a little bit more efficient than other ways of making money, let's say, because it literally can grow from the ground from natural resources that are technically free at some capacity. Anyways, nothing's free. I will say that nothing's free, right? But that was crazy. That was kind of cool diving into something that I actually know a little more about, and I've been there many of times. I recorded a full album in Arcata. So seeing that, whew.
City boy, city boy.